single person can become a millionaire despite of their income. How so? I'm gonna tell you right now. Hi, I am Alina Gaga, the founder of Soapy Mini and entrepreneur with sell our products nationwide. In this episode, I'm gonna be talking about the paycheck routine and how to become a millionaire. Before we start, please don't forget to click subscribe button and like button to avoid missing new videos. All right, let's go. According to multiple surveys, between 40 to 78% of Americans live from paycheck to paycheck. And nearly half, 48.8% of Americans consider themselves broke. I think it's time for change in 2024. There's so many resources, there's so many possibilities, but the most important, there is lots of access to change your mindset. Because mindset is everything. If you can't change your mindset, you can't change this situation. Because the first step in every action is to change your thinking. 80% of psychology, 20% of actions. And we live in the world of abundant information. So let's switch in our head to live in the world of abundant wealth. So first of all, let's talk about mindset. What is money for you? Why do you need money? What for? Why do you think you don't have it? Be honest with yourself. Just because the more honest with yourself, the quicker you are gonna move to a direction that you want to move. Once you answer these questions, you'll probably find some kind of limiting beliefs. So I was born in Soviet Union, the country that doesn't exist anymore, but before they didn't really have money. They were exchanging their labor, their time for the goods and services that provided by the government. So it was the government who had to decide, what do you need? I'm not saying it was good, I'm not saying it was bad, I'm just stating the fact that people just didn't have the frame of reference for money. And once the Soviet Union collapsed, people gained freedom that they didn't know what to do with, and they started making money and they didn't know what to do with this money. And at some point in my family, there was a limiting belief that we've never been rich. It's not the time for us to be rich. Rich people live in different reality, in different world, and we're not in this world. And I've been living in this mindset for a very, very long time. Another limiting belief that I personally had was that I have to work way too hard to make a lot of money. So the more money, the harder you have to work. Disclaimer, that's not true. You have to work hard and smart, and you have to enjoy doing what you do. Another limiting belief that I personally had, that money is something that is at balance, meaning that if I get money, then I need to lose something. If I make more money or if I become rich, probably I'm gonna lose my health, or probably I'm gonna lose something else. In order to be okay, you need to be on okay level, which is messed up. I don't think that way anymore. We all have those limiting beliefs. If you don't have money, means that there is something that holding you inside your head. It's either a limiting belief or probably it's a hidden benefit. Let's say you want to be taken care of. You don't want to take responsibilities. That's why you don't have money, because money is responsibility. Being financially grown up, we're gonna talk about it later, means that you hold both responsibilities and you get into all the consequences about it. If you want to grow financially, if you want to become rich, if you want to have financial freedom, first you need to start with your head, with your thoughts, with your limiting beliefs and your hidden benefits, and try to steer this pot and see what you can get rid of. The next step, that was actually on Tony Robbins Training. It was stages of wealth. He correlated your internal wealth maturity to a life cycle. For example, if you are a baby, you don't need money. You don't know what money is. You don't have any responsibilities. You technically don't need money because everything is provided for you. And you get what you want exactly when you want. And if you want something and you don't get it, you let everyone know that something is not provided for you. This is like a baby stage. Then the next stage would be toddler stage, that you still want what you want, you still want it at specific time, but you already have a frame of reference that sometimes you need to work for it or sometimes you need to wait. That doesn't mean that you enjoy the wait or you enjoy working for it, but you already understand something needs to happen in order for you to get what you want. But still everything is provided for you. You don't have any savings, you don't have any financial plan, you just take money as something that is given to you. And the next stage would be a teenage stage. The teenage stage is when you make money. You finally are able to make money, but you spend it right away. The moment you get it, you spend it for whatever you want to do, and that is not something that you need to have. You don't spend it for food or on your basic needs. You spend it on something that you really want. I had a video where there's a need, there's a want. Please watch it. And this is for more mature stage of your financial cycle. That's why a teenage stage is very common. Lots and lots of people actually live on this stage until they die. As I said, we need to grow up. The next stage would be young adult. Young adult is when you understand the value of money. You already have a frame of reference that this is what you need, this is what you want, and there is a correlation, and you cannot spend all your money at once you get it, to everything that you want. You have actually need to start planning, and you have like basic savings. You hire some kind of help or advisor, or talk to someone, or learn from videos, or read books. So this is the stage where, ironically, lots and lots of people buy their first houses and make their first big investments. However, this is the stage where you technically respect money and value the money most. So the next stage is your prime, when you have a financial plan, you make a lot of money, you have a lot of energy to make right decisions, you think through, you have savings, you have investments, so you also allocate some finances into your future, and you work really hard to make this happen. The next stage is midlife evaluation, as Tony refers to. He points a lot of disadvantages on it. I would say, on my opinion, that should be on a positive thought, that midlife evaluation, you don't already have that much energy and that much courage to keep pushing, to keep making money. Plus, your values change. You already have accomplished a lot, and you start using this money. You probably don't really want to already make so many decisions and hustle as much as you did before, and you just want to stabilize your life and want to kind of stop growing financially, however, do not go down as well. The next stage would be aging, when you already have zero desire to hustle, you want to start using the money that you've accumulated, and probably this is the time where you retire. And lots of people, they retire age-wise, so they turn 65, but they skipped the stages of prime or the stages of midlife evaluation, and they jump from young adult to retirement right away without any savings. And this is sad just because you kind of have to rely on whatever happened in between, or government. Relying on government is, of course, it is a strategy. However, you're not going to be living the way you dream of living. Well, maybe this is your dream life. However, most of the people would still like to do more during this time. So technically, you don't have energy and you don't have a desire to hustle anymore. You want to start using your benefits that you've accumulated, and that's the stage of aging. And then the next stage is when you get institutionalized. It's either your family is taking care of you or the government is taking care of you, so the money lose their value, everything is provided for you, at the basic needs, you probably don't need much anymore, and then you die. So technically, this is the circle of life, and you need to be honest with yourself again and evaluate what stage of life are you on and what it is that you need to do in order to get to your prime and stay on your prime, or if you want to go to the aging stage where you want to retire, but you need to create a fund for you to retire gracefully and to enjoy your retirement. So you thought through your limiting beliefs and you realize your hidden benefits, and probably those hidden benefits are stronger than your desire of being rich and being wealthy. And by the way, being rich and being wealthy is two different things. Being rich means that you have a lot of money. Being wealthy is the feeling that you get, of course, with the help of money, but that doesn't involve the actual number, because you can be happy and you can enjoy your life and you can feel wealthy without being rich. So you got rid of your limiting beliefs, you realize your hidden benefits, you realize which stage of life you're on right now and where you need to move, and now you get your paycheck. It doesn't matter if you work for somebody else, you have a day job, or you work for yourself. Whatever income you have, you gotta plan it. Again, in one of my previous videos, I was stating the percentage of every single income that you get, and I was explaining the importance of paying yourself first. So paying yourself first means that you invest in yourself, but in the future self, so that you get to enjoy the life, you get to gain your financial freedom. And based on this previous video, you know that you have to budget, you have to know your budget, you have to know your numbers that you are currently living on, and you have to allocate all these investments and so on and so forth. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you a little more. This is actually perfect timing just because I came back from Wealth Mastery by Tony Robbins, and we've talked about this a lot. Tony had like 10 commandments on how to become wealthy. And the very first of them, that you need to know your numbers. That means that you need to know how much you need in order to maintain your current lifestyle without working for it. So when you do your budget, you write down all your expenses, all your regular expenses. And actually last week I did a 7 days expenses challenge, and I was posting on my Instagram every single day how much I spent. And that was actually very fascinating, just because on one of the days I had to spend over than $4,000 on something that I did not plan to spend, and that some of that was not in my budget. So that's why it's very important to have emergency fund, to have health saving account, to have other cushions that you are going to rely on. Once you know your budget, once you know your expenses, and again, your expenses are going to grow. Despite how much more you're going to be making, it's so very hard to stay disciplined and to live the lifestyle that you lived before. If you get a raise, or if you get a better job, or if you get a side hustle, you start making more money, your expenses grow. So that's why you have to evaluate your budget once in a while. I actually love budgeting, and I do it every month. I would say that's my personal hobby. If you don't like it, it's okay. But once a year, you should reevaluate your expenses and your finances and see where the money flows. So once you know your number of the basic needs that you have right now, then you add a little bit of something that is extra. Like, let's say you go on vacation, let's say you plan to buy another car or something, you add more, and that becomes a number that you technically need to get to monthly. And again, it's going to be growing with time. However, that's the number that you technically need to invest and to get in return, so that you do not have to have income. Once you move from your prime stage to your aging stage, when you won't be able to work anymore, when you won't be able to have an income, the money that's coming because of your work, but you need to transform it in some kind of cash flow, some kind of investment, and you will pay yourself first 10%. Actually, that's the fund. And that's the fund you accumulate throughout your prime time. You dump everything to it, and it gains a critical mass. Once it's gained this critical mass, you invested in something that gives you a return. The average return, let's say on stock market, would be 10%. High yield savings account would be 4%. However, the inflation is above 3% already, so you need to be careful with your money, and you need to be careful where you store it or where you invest it. The real estate market, crypto, and so on, there is multiple ways to invest, but if you're going to be conservative, let's say you're going to get 5% in return, because of, if you consider the inflation and all the ups and downs on market, let's say 5%. So once you accumulate your critical mass, and once the 5% of your critical mass equals to your monthly expenses, this is when you gain financial freedom. I understand that some people think that it's going to take them like 200 years to accumulate this critical mass. Yes, if you're barely making as much as you need, then of course there's a lot of ways to change the situation, and the best way is to increase your income, and there's lots and lots of ways to do so. And it's easier to make extra $1,000 than to save an extra $1,000 despite of your income. That's why I would focus first on making more, but however, don't forget to spend less part as well. And also, once you get your increase in the salary, or once you get an extra income, don't change your lifestyle. Don't buy a bigger house. Don't buy a nicer car. If your car drives you to places and it doesn't break, it's a car. I do understand that, and Tony actually jokes that your taste is gonna change. You're gonna get a better taste, so you're gonna go to nicer restaurants, you're gonna buy nicer clothes, you're gonna be living in a nicer neighborhood, and that's great. That means that you increase the level of norm. However, you need to increase it gradually. The rate of increase of your norm should be lesser than the rate of increase of your income. That's how you are gonna balance it out, and this is how you are gonna invest in your future self, in your kids. I understand that some people think, hey, I live today. I need to live today, I need to enjoy my life today, and what if I'm gonna die tomorrow? And I get it, I absolutely get it, and I'm with you. However, what if you live another 50 years, and in like 20 years or in 30 years you won't be able to work anymore? What's the plan? So I'm a person, I love plan A, plan B, plan C, but however, I do love enjoying your life. That's why, yes, if we increase our level of norm, if we move to a nicer neighborhood, if we move to, like we did, we moved to a different state, we still try to increase our income gradually so that we keep up with our expenses. So to sum it up, again, what is money? What do you need money for? Why do you need this money? Why don't you have this money? Because money is abundance. 80% of our wealth is in our head. So we need to work on our psychology first, and then we need to take massive action. We need to do our due diligence and our steps and do some actions. Lately, I noticed that lots and lots of people, they get stuck on psychology and they think, okay, I'm gonna meditate myself $1 million. That is true. There's 80% in it. However, you need to work, you need to do some actions, you need to make some steps. Here below, I'm gonna attach the budget spreadsheet that I use myself. Please enjoy it and let me know in the comments if you have any questions about it. I might create another video on how to use it. Plan your financial maturity ahead of time and enjoy, because money is abundance and wealth does not mean rich. And I wish everyone to be wealthy and happy, and thank you for watching. Bye.